Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes Reacts. I'm Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
I'm an unbelievable office bloke that saved Mike's life from COVID. Do you know how I did it? Yeah, because I took the charger onto your house.
I was going to say, took his laptop charger.
Right, yeah.
Mike, who never takes his laptop home and then takes it home once and gets COVID.
I take it home all the time. I just don't normally take my charger because I usually only have it overnight, so I don't need the charger because it's a new laptop and the battery lasts well. There you go. That's that explained for you.
Yeah, we are all
Unbelievable,
three.
Jeff.
Unbelievable, Jeff. We are all three office blokes now back together again. Yeah, but the old band's back together.
It's like you've never been away, Mike.
Hey, absolutely.
It's good to see you back.
Thanks very much.
No, it's good to see you back. So if you if you want to leave, almost knocking your coffee over.
Par for the course.
2 other YouTube channels, Patreon page, social media, merch, all that good stuff. We've got it all going on right now. Click the link below and it'll take you where you need to go. It's as simple as that. Just do it. Just do it.
Yeah,
do
it's
it.
free.
Do it. Do it. Right, there we go. Thanks.
Nice one.
Disaster averted. Right, unbelievable animals that saved lives. See how they threw the curveball there? They've got a big lion. And animals that save lives.
Yeah.
It saved the life of another lion by eating a poacher. That's what happened there.
Looks like it's got glaucoma in that one.
Don't look good, does it?
No.
Let's get into it. Unbelievable animals that saved lives. Let's do this.
From lions to gorillas, here are 8 animals that saved people's lives.
I like the music.
Number 8. Ning Nong the elephant. In 2004, 8-year-old Amber Owen was on holiday in Phuket, Thailand with her parents, where she grew attached to Ning Nong, a 4-year-old local tame elephant. They spent a lot of time together riding on the beach and eating bananas. One day on one of their rides on the beach, the two friends noticed the water started receding. People ran to the water line to pick up all the fish that had been suddenly left flapping on shore.
We were going to pause it there as well.
I was going to say, I think this must be when the tsunami happened.
I was going to say, you'd be running the other way, wouldn't you? I've
seen that elephant on that beach.
Have you?
Yeah, it's quite a celebrity sort of like elephant. Parades up and down the beach every day.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But the devastation that tsunami left was bad.
I know.
It was unbelievable.
It was hundreds of thousands dead, wasn't it?
I don't know what the deaths on was.
I think it was nearly 300,000.
But the island suffered bad.
Yeah. But, I mean, my mind is absolutely blown every time you have something like this and the sea recedes and people just go, ooh. It's like, no, fucking run.
Yeah.
Fucking run.
Yeah.
get to high ground quick.
Ning Nong did the opposite and started running inland. Amber held on tight, trying not to fall off the elephant, when soon after she felt the rush of water as a tsunami had hit the beach. Ning Nong waded through the rough waters and stopped along a stone wall long enough for Amber to climb on top of it, where she was safe from the turmoil. Shortly after, her mom found her and brought her to safety before a second wave came in. She has no doubts that the current would have swept Amber and Ning Nong away. There is no question that the elephant's heroic struggles against the currents saved her life. After the tsunami, Ning Nong was transferred to the Somnuk Elephant Camp in Kanchanburi, where, according to the camp's owner, she always wins the hearts of tourists who visit the camp. Last year, writer Michael Morpurgo adapted Amber and Ning Nong's story into a play. Number 7.
Nice.
Dolphins. Dolphins have been known to save people for centuries, but this particular story is very intriguing. In 2004, lifeguard Rob Howes took his daughter and her 2 friends for a swim off the northern coast of New Zealand near the town of Whangarei. It wasn't long until they started to get surrounded by a pod of dolphins, circling them while pushing them closer and closer together. At first, they thought the dolphins were being playful, but when they tried to break free, 2 of the bigger dolphins forced them back into the middle. Howes was starting to get a bit worried when finally the gravity of the situation became clear. Through the crystal clear water, he noticed a 10-foot-long white shark cruising towards them at full speed. However, upon getting close, the shark got repelled by the group of dolphins and swam away. The girls were unaware of the danger at the time, as Howes did not mention the shark to keep them calm. Good thing. The dolphins continued to circle the group for over 40 minutes, making sure the shark was far gone before letting boarding house and the girls swim to safety. Dolphin expert Dr. Diana Reese states that dolphins make conscious decisions about when they intervene. They weigh up the situation and are selective about who and in which circumstances they help. Long story short, if you ever find yourself in the ocean and a dolphin forces you to do something, you better listen. Number 6.
Dolphins just getting on your back.
They're so intelligent, aren't they? Some of these creatures, absolutely incredible.
Did you see it was in the press last week, I think it was, about where they round them up and massacre them in one of the countries.
What, dolphins?
Yeah, it's not the Cove. That was a different one. They basically ferry them into a cove, like a little bay.
It's not where all the sea turns red, is it? That's not dolphins, though, is it?
I
thought it was.
One of them's dolphins.
I thought it was seals. I think like that. Or
I think the one that the Cove was about was dolphins. That documentary.
It's like Norway somewhere, isn't it? Or
there was one last week or the week before that was just. Maybe it wasn't dolphins. Maybe it was something else. But it's sickening when you see it. It's absolutely horrific. And you think how intelligent dolphins are supposed to be. Yeah, and they're out there protecting people from sharks and stuff.
Yeah, I can't remember where it was. It was somewhere. I'm sure it was like in the Arctic somewhere, like Norway or Greenland, somewhere like that.
I'm not sure. I thought this. No, I'm going to be guessing.
Yeah, same.
Winnie the cat. It seems like people love cats more than they love them, but this cat definitely proves otherwise. In 2007, Winnie, a 14-year-old domestic shorthair, saved its family from certain death by carbon monoxide poisoning. Eric and Kathy Kiesling and their son were asleep at 1 a.m. when the cat began jumping up and down on their bed and meowing like crazy to wake them up. Kathy was reluctant to get up, but Winnie persisted. She said that when she stood up, she felt nauseous and dizzy. She tried to wake her husband but couldn't, as he was unconscious next to her, and she even had trouble calling 911. When the paramedics arrived, they later found their 14-year-old son Michael unconscious on the floor next to his room. The whole family was immediately given oxygen masks and rushed to the hospital, where they made a full recovery. Local authorities believe that had Winnie tried to warn them 5 minutes later, it might have been too late. It turns out that a faulty gas-powered water pump in the basement caused the odorless and deadly gas to build up. Various animals have been known to sense natural disasters due to changes in the environment, but this remains one of the few cases where they were able to sense carbon monoxide. The American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals named Winnie the Cat of the Year, and Reader's Digest featured Winnie as a Hero Pet of the Year in 2009. You go, Winnie. Number 4.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest cat person, but you can't argue with that, really.
That's looking at it, isn't it? I mean, you just got absolutely no chance with carbon monoxide, have you? If you're asleep in bed.
We all have alarms now, don't we?
Yeah. So the real thing there was cat messes about with pipe for ages, realises it's made a mistake, goes and tells someone about it.
That's a big hole in the pipe and oops.
5. Sea lions. Like dolphins, sea lions have also been known to aid humans or other animals in danger. In 2000, 21-year-old Kevin Hines jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge into the San Francisco Bay to take his own life. Hines suffered from mental illnesses such as psychosis, bipolar disorder, and depression, and heard voices instructing him to jump. He miraculously survived the fall but suffered a severe spinal injury. Due to the frigid waters, he was at great risk of hypothermia setting in. It wasn't long until Hines noticed an animal swimming below him in the water, and he was convinced that it was a shark preparing to finish the job. As it turned out, the creature was actually a sea lion circling around and pushing him up to the surface to keep him afloat. Bystanders that saw Hines make the jump believed that he was actually alone in the water or that it was a seal that saved him, but he firmly upholds that it was in fact a sea lion. Hines made a full recovery thanks to intensive surgery and physical therapy, and has written a book about his experience and struggles with mental illness titled Cracked, Not Broken: Surviving and Thriving After a Suicide Attempt. He also became a mental health speaker, sharing his story around the world to help other people with suicidal thoughts. Number 4.
What's the difference between a seal and a sea
lion? That's the same question. They look the same to me on that picture.
Sea lions are usually bigger, aren't they? I think. I'd say I think seals are a little bit smaller,
right?
But I could be wrong. But I don't know what the actual physical difference is.
I thought they were the same thing. To be honest, they are the dogs of the sea, though, aren't they?
Yeah,
lions.
The dogs of the sea, definitely. I think I've said before, I've been in Cornwall, sat on a surfboard when there was no waves, just sort of bobbing up and down, and it's probably going to be a seal now, not a sea lion. Swam up and just put his head on the surfboard and just chilled with me for a bit. He was just looking at me, and they're friendly, they're like dogs, just full of energy, they're curious.
Yeah, don't know much about them, so I don't know what the difference is neither.
That guy looked like he's turned his life around a bit, maybe, hasn't he? And hopefully on the right side of mental.
It's great the way they do it, isn't it? The way they sort of like the assists to take people's safety. The elephant,
like a sixth sense, haven't they? It's incredible.
The dolphins, and then
it's like a nurturing instinct, isn't it? So whereas we think we're the sort of alphas in the top of the food chain, there's this animal coming along going, oh, they need looking after, and then they step into the
like I say, it's amazing how they sense it, isn't it? How they know, they just do, don't
incredible.
they?
Yeah.
Lions. While a lion might not be the first animal that you hope to come across when you need help, these lions have shown that they can be nice cats as well. In 2005, a 12-year-old girl in Ethiopia was abducted on her way home from school and held captive for a week. She was raped and severely beaten as the men tried to force her into marriage. 3 lions heard the girl crying and whimpering and chased the abductors away. They then stood guard for half a day until she was found by the Ethiopian police. The girl was treated for shock and injuries she had suffered during her ordeal. Wildlife expert Stuart Williams believes the girl's crying may have sounded like the meowing of a cub in danger, which would explain why the lions protected her instead of trying to eat her. If they had not come to protect her, things may have gotten a lot worse. The lions in Ethiopia are famous for their large black manes and are the country's national symbol. Unfortunately, hunters still kill the animals for their skin. Williams estimates that only 1,000 Ethiopian lions remain in the wild. Number 3.
I'm a bit gutted there that lions didn't catch the guys and just chew them.
It's a shame, isn't it, really? That would have been an ideal ending, really, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That could have ended a lot worse, though, like they said.
Yeah, well, thank God for the lions, but can you imagine that, where people are really that depraved and scumbags, and then a lion comes in and teaches them who the boss really is?
It's what they deserve, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what you wish should happen. If you found them, you should feed them to the lions.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Simple.
Yeah.
Mila the beluga whale. In 2009, diver Yang Yun entered a free diving contest at China's Harbin Polar Land, which required competitors to sink to the bottom of an aquarium 20 feet deep without any breathing equipment and stay there as long as possible amid the beluga whales. When Yun tried to head to the surface, she found her legs were crippled by leg cramps caused by the freezing temperatures of the water. Instead of going up, she began to sink even deeper while choking on water. Yun thought this was the end for her when she suddenly felt an incredible force driving her to the surface. Mila the beluga whale sensed Yun was drowning before the staff members did and rushed to help. She grabbed her leg and pushed her up, saving her life. Mila is a very sensitive animal that works very closely with humans, which probably explains why she was so quick to help out. Beluga whales are very intelligent creatures and among the first whales to interact with humans. They even have facial muscles that allow them to smile. Number 2. Lulu the pig. Most people think pigs are only...
Sorry, just go back to that one there. That's why you don't dick about in pools with whales and stuff. Just leave them in the sea and...
I'm with you.
Go down 20 foot with the whale.
I know,
the pool.
I'm totally with you that, I mean, it's become toxic now, the SeaWorld and all that sort of stuff that were spectacles, but really it's abuse, isn't it?
It's no environment, is it, for creatures like that? I mean, it's got to be out in the open ocean, haven't they? I mean, I can see certain circumstances where there's endangered species and they're thinking of trying to repopulate.
Trying to protect them.
Trying to protect them, but now... ones like that, I'm not quite so sure.
Yeah, but you don't want fucking humans swimming in a pool with them, see how deep you can go and see how long you can stay down there for.
Yeah.
That's not going to end well, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you could argue that if the whales weren't there, then the woman would be dead.
What would she be there for anyway? Because you're swimming with the beluga whales. So you were just going in a pool and diving 20 foot down and see how long you can stay down there for.
Well, it was a competition.
Unless it was competition money.
Yeah, leave them in the sea and stop hunting them. I mean, that's the moral of the story there, isn't it?
We're not supposed to be 20 foot down in the water. We can't breathe in the water, right? Without breathing apparatus.
Neither can whales.
Yeah.
Neither can whales, can they? They have to breathe. They have to come to the top to breathe. And
I think they've got the technique right. We haven't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Useful for bacon, but what this pig did might surprise.
That's a bit harsh, isn't it?
We need that again.
Most people think pigs are only useful for bacon, but what this pig did might surprise you. In 1997, Joanne and her husband from Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania...
Don't pause.
Don't say it.
Don't pause there. We know what's coming. Just press play.
agreed to babysit their daughter's pot-bellied pig, Lulu. They soon became best friends, which would later turn out to be very useful. A year later, in August 1998, Jo suffered a heart attack while her husband was out of town on a fishing trip. She collapsed on the floor and yelled, but no one heard her cries for help or paid any attention to their dog barking. Luckily for Jo, Lulu decided it was time for action and came up with a master plan. She forced herself out of the yard, scraping herself in the process, leaving her skin torn and bleeding. She ran to the nearest road where she laid down and played dead. Shortly after, a driver stopped his car, concerned about Lulu's wounds, when she jumped up and led the man to her trailer. He immediately dialed 911, and Jo was taken to the medical center for open heart surgery. Doctors said that 15 more minutes could have been the difference between life and death. Lulu later received the Tiffany Gold Heroes Medal from the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. Her story has been featured in the New York Times, USA Today, People magazine, and she even made appearances on The Oprah Winfrey Show and The Late Show with David Letterman. That is one successful pig. Number 1.
I'm not going to say anything.
No, I don't.
You get a lot of butties out of that one, won't you? Anyway.
It was the guy who giving him the award or whatever, the way he was crouched behind the pig as well. Just didn't look right, did it? Looked like a porky.
Yeah. It's getting more than a medal there, wasn't
Stuffing.
It's making sausages.
Oh, no.
There's so many things there.
Putting out schnitzel on the Wiener.
I actually had a tear at one point in that. I was just like... Oh, just don't do it. Don't do it.
Binti Jua. In May 2016, a toddler fell into a gorilla enclosure at the Cincinnati Zoo in Ohio. A 17-year-old male gorilla named Harambe grabbed the boy and dragged him into shallow waters in a moat within the enclosure. An emergency response team determined the boy's life to be in imminent danger and fatally shot Harambe. There is still much debate as to the silverback's intentions, and many believe that the gorilla was actually protecting the child instead of threatening it. When this happened, a very similar story came to light that happened in 1996 with a very different outcome. This time, a 3-year-old fell 18 feet into the gorilla enclosure at the Brookfield Zoo in Chicago. The boy, who was unconscious, was picked up by a female gorilla named Binti Jua, which means daughter of sunshine. To everyone's surprise, she cradled the child, protecting him from the other gorillas, and carried him to a door where rescuers and paramedics were able to take over. The boy suffered a broken hand and some cuts on his face and spent 4 days in the hospital. Binti Jua is a western lowland gorilla, an endangered species of gorilla commonly found in Central and Western Africa. She is now 28 years old and still lives in the Brookfield Zoo, where she became a grandmother in August 2013. Binti Jua was hailed a hero. Thanks for watching. For more videos, click...
I see both sides of it with that Harambe situation, and I do remember it now because there was outcry across the world.
Yeah, that's right.
But I see you think it looks like everything was going to go okay, but you're not going to know until it's too late when that kid's been ripped apart.
That's it. Been that situation before. I mean,
they are very, very strong, brutal animals when they want to be.
Usually, yeah.
But at the same time, it very likely could have been trying to look after the kid.
Yeah.
But just a millisecond that you're going to know what's going to happen.
No, I know.
That's it. It's a split second. Like say, an animal that big and that powerful. I mean, it just like that could do anything, couldn't it?
It's the choice between the kid might be all right and the kid will be all right, and that's the tough decision they've had to make there.
Yeah.
If you get rid of the imminent threat, which is the animal, then
basically, I suppose
okay.
as bad as it was, probably the decision was made on. We just don't know. We can't be sure.
If it was your kid, what would you say? Oh, just wait a minute, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe the gorilla's going to look after my kid.
That's it, innit?
Yeah,
that's it. But
I'd be in there fighting the gorilla, getting ripped apart.
I don't know.
Come on then.
some nice stories in there, though, isn't there?
Yeah, great stories.
It just goes to, so many people take nature for granted so much, and you abuse animals and stuff, and they're there for a reason at the end of the day.
Yeah. A lot of them are very, very human-like, aren't they, in their actions and the way they go about things.
But what do you think about the health and safety on like a gorilla enclosure and people being able to fall in?
Absolutely disgraceful.
there's usually 2 barriers, isn't there, at most zoos, where you're not supposed to go past the first one, and then the second one is the thing that you'd fall over.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's possibly some bad parenting or questionable parenting going on there.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Yeah, you've got to be careful.
Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed that too. Don't forget, like and subscribe. It's free. And we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers. Guys.